Hi, I'm Denise. I'm from Sydney, Australia, and this video is showing you the progress of 2 paintings from scratch, really. I show you some of my process, talk about some of it, and you can see the end results at the end of the video. Thanks for joining. I've got these 4 new white boards. They're 50 by 50 centimeters. I ordered them from Art Tree Creations, I think it's called. I'll put a link below when I figure it out exactly. And they came with their frames as well. So they've got their frames ready, and I'm going to be starting these from scratch. And what I'm feeling drawn to is these kind of blue and the foliage that I've done before, only in tiny. I did little 30 by 30s, and I've got these vases and their foliage next to me because I have a very short lead time as to when these need to be ready. So I thought I need to revisit something that I loved and that I can see how can I do that again, but also do it newly. So that's where I'm starting from today. I decided to do something a little brave and just push these up against each other. This will make them definitely be related, which is going to be good for this 4 paintings, all the same size. Make them all like a family. So then there's always a lovely opportunity if somebody has the means, if they wanted to buy a set and hang them all together, which is lovely. I know that lately I'm not doing really large pieces, I'm doing more of these small ones at the moment. And that's largely due to sort of budgets that people have. That ability to spend is different at the moment. And so for these art fairs, sometimes it's helpful to have smaller pieces. They can fit in more homes, and then there's a lower price point. Oops. Okay, we'll see. Okay, so not much at all. Interesting, eh? But interesting marks that you wouldn't be able to get by painting. So let's pop that up there. I'm freaking out. This is a rental house. I can't be getting paint anywhere, so I've got to be careful. That was the beauty of having my own place in the studio. I just didn't care. I let paint go on the floor and it was okay. It was made for it, you know. So there you go. Isn't that interesting? You would imagine that it's going to do a lot more, but oh, I really love how it's made some really interesting marks that I wasn't anticipating. We might as well take video here because things will change, things will go. This is where they were. Here they are, dry, waiting for me to be inspired as to what to do next. I'm feeling so lost. I don't know what to do. But I did notice some things that I really loved was these patterns. They just look so much like interesting fabric. I really love that. And so there's sort of more of that over here. So unfortunately, I'm starting to love that already, that they, I don't know who they are, but they say, don't get too attached, don't, you know, blah, blah, blah. But usually for me with these kind of things that start off intuitively, it's the finding the things you love and then see what can happen from there. Here's where the first one's at. And to be honest, I'm quite freaking out with the whole 4 of them, but this one is the only one that I've really taken into something. I think I'm going to have to do something with the chairs, maybe make it like the seat of them looking down a little bit. I'm just trying to keep keep a lot of the blue, but I need to do something so that the foliage will stand out from all of that. So, and I wanted that sort of rough brushy mark, but I've got to just sort of hang out with that because that isn't everywhere. So it needs to be, well, it's on the chairs, so try to hang out with this and not let my nervous tummy freak me out and run away and scroll Instagram, as you do. So here's the next piece, and I've been freaking out because timelines, etc. So what I did was I drew around a design I've done before that I really, really love, and I thought, let me take it into Procreate. And so what I've done is I've spun around the background a couple of, well, I tried it all 4 directions, but these 2 are my favorites. And I just need to give myself a way to move forward, because if I think too hard, I just freak out that there's too much to get done. So this one here is really quite interesting. What I'm kind of looking at is what pattern will end up on her robe if I was to leave some parts. So that's that one. And then these are quite sort of interesting, these shapes. So then if I go this next one, this one I feel very drawn to because the depth of colour in these 3 things here I find very happy making. They won't look anything like this when I end up painting it, but this gives me a jumping off point, I think. Hard decision. And then her robe has got sort of all kinds of interesting things. I feel like I think I'm just going to go ahead with this one, but I just wanted to share that with you. So what does it do? Yeah, so that's up the right way. And now I've got to, I'll use chalk and I'll draw that onto there and keep going. Here's an update. Do you know, I actually painted this painting upside down like this and thought, yep, that's how I'm going to have it. But I turned it around and wow, I was surprised to find I like it better that way. I'm going to need to do some more to this to make it complete, but I was just interested to see how well I liked it upside down, which is now the new right way up. Yeah. And the other one, the pair to go with it, whoops, sorry, my finger in the way, is coming along nice. I used masking fluid to give me the shapes, and then so I've just been doing the white background, and I'll be taking that masking fluid back off, and so it's going to have some sort of loose big floral pattern on her robe. I just love these ladies in their lounging in their robes. Got a bit to do on her face. I used open acrylics. I've got them sitting here in a dish. These can last and stay wet for a good week or even more. But I just found actually, oh dear, using them, it was actually difficult on the wood. They slid quite a lot, and the background kept showing through, so I just had to stop, and they're dry now, and I'll do another coat and see where we go. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited with how she's coming along. Saturday morning here as I'm making this snippet of video, and I just want to apologise for the noise in the background. Philip is in the kitchen with his headphones on listening to music, and he's unloading the dishwasher and banging around in the kitchen, and there's no way I'm going to tell him to stop that. So yeah, sorry about that noise. Wow. Oh, it's a magical thing, that masking fluid, because you sort of forget what you've masked and how you've done it, and you get a nice surprise. And sometimes there's a little bit of patching up, you know, you have to fix up where you might have missed and stuff, but I really love that. So this can be a studio session today. I've just noticed as I was looking through the camera, there's all these lines. So that's going to be a bit interesting. I don't know if it's too many, but what I'm doing is masking off. I'm going to make a tablecloth because the blue is very wonderful, but it's just a little dark and daunting for me. It's kind of quite moody. I'm a tiny bit disappointed with the colors here at the moment. They're not feeling bright enough in a way, but you know, color's such an interesting thing, and I'm just always learning, and I seem to be drawn to, just turn this up a little bit. Yeah, as I was saying, I had this idea with this group of 4 to just really simplify, just bring the parameters down so much that I could not confuse myself. And I've got this huge bottle of Prussian blue hue, which I've been saving for a rainy day or something, and it's raining, so here we go. And I particularly like this Australian olive green, and so I thought, why don't I just choose them? And I picked Quinacridone Nicolazo Gold as a warm. And so I just had a green, a blue, and a warm, and thought, okay, let me just see what happens if I just limit that palette down. And so I can't go that way. I'll show you. Let's see. Is that in the frame? Yeah, so for the most part, that is this color scheme, this Prussian blue, a lot. And now, as I'm coming to the end of this one, I was concerned that it felt a bit cold. So I'm aware that I might want to warm it up somehow. I want to warm up her complexion and bring more light to it, and just warm it up. It just feels all a little cold. So yeah, that's an interesting thing. You know, this blue feels quite cold, but I do love it. And so that's what I'm hanging out with, and I don't have much time, which is really interesting, or freaky, or whatever you like to say. Time limits, God. Yeah, anyway, so I've kind of got these two speaking to each other with a similar palette, and then I've got 2 other boards that I want to start on today, another layer. So this one, I thought I want to make this a bit more dynamic. What could make it pop? And so the idea came to make quite a, what's the word? Graphic or sort of strong design on the tablecloth. So I'm thinking of doing white and leave that stripe of blue. So I get to keep little bits of the pattern that I'm really loving, but I decided I just can't keep all of it because it's just too dark and moody. And it's not quite giving me the overall feeling that I could say, okay, that's finished. So that would give me thick white stripes and thin blue. So I had thought that I would put in a cross one. So this will be interesting. Probably should use a ruler, but I'm not. Just eyeballing it. Okay. I don't know why I'm starting in the middle, so hopefully that I can kind of keep on track a little bit. All right, so now I kind of want to make squares, I think. That's going to be interesting. Oh look, ha! And then you can see somewhere that you haven't, it's not quite square. Oh well, it's the hand painted non-perfection version. And if I don't like the squares, I will be able to then just paint and have just the stripes. So this gives me an option. I'll try it, see what it's like with all these white squares, and I'll have to be careful around. I've also done some shapes here that I think I would like, so I've got to remember I better use my chalk. I thought I would do some shapes here that could be bowls, because this is the bird's eye view, and I thought, oh, some bowls would be rather gorgeous, wouldn't they? Because again, see my penchant, is that the word? For holding on to the windows into what was before. It's one of my, oh, you might call it one of my signature things, or it's definitely one of those things that I'm really keen to do a lot. So, you know, that term, signature, something, whatever. They look like power shells in a way. My New Zealand heritage. I'm born in New Zealand, so I grew up with power shells around the place. I think from memory, well, in later years, I know it was my brothers, probably was. They, I'm the youngest of 7, so I had much older brothers. They all, the 3 boys were born first, and then there were 4 girls. And yeah, there was power shells around our house, because that was something that a couple of my brothers liked to eat, I think. Yeah, so power shells are really very beautiful. Very beautiful art by Mother Nature. I'm a great creator, however. Yeah. Believe in it. So this is interesting. It's interesting to be chatting to you whilst doing this. I can tell it's making me not overthink it as much, so hopefully that will be good. But it's annoying to me that that's really rather more a rectangle than a square. But oh gosh, what can be done, hey? You can only tweak things so much. I thought I'd better video this bit. Here's hoping it doesn't pull paint off where it shouldn't, but I had to share this bit because it's quite satisfying sometimes seeing when you take the masking tape off. So let's see.
Don't know if I can reuse it, probably not. Should have let it go, but anyway. It's not particularly neat edges, but I think I should be able to use some glue paint and pass it out. I was wondering how these bowls are going to go, because I think the edges are not quite... I don't know. I was thinking of probably see. Yeah, right, okay. Might have to show how where the edges are. Hold on. contrived. I mean, obviously it's going to look a little controlled, but hopefully the way to counteract that is to do something loose and crazy, which might need something to do with that bouquet, maybe. You know, if you want to think of differences, very neat, very loose, both in the same.
Would have looked interesting to just freehand paint it, but I think with my time constraints, I'm just trying to find a bit sort of easier ways that I feel will be more fail-safe or something. And I've not really done this pattern particularly before, so I kind of, yeah, I wasn't sure. I didn't feel like repainting it 17 times, and I was really keen to keep some of this very interesting blue background, so that is what's guided my decision making. I think a white tablecloth with loosely drawn white blue lines can look gorgeous, but I can do that another time. This is like an odd man out. We'll have to sleep on it, I think. I'm not sure how well that platter is going with that background. Whether I need to change it somehow or give it a pattern. You know, it's like more is more sometimes. I'm wondering if it wants some sort of painted on pattern. Not sure. I could try that on my iPad. Maybe the fruit could have a little more life. They're a little dark, so maybe I could look at that, bring in more life and colour to those. Yeah. Okay, I've just put them in the frames to give me an idea of what else is wanted. And what I'm feeling like I want to do with this one is a tiny bit more with her eyes and mouth to make the opening of her mouth just under her nose and her eyes, just highlight them a tiny bit more. And I think I want to do some sort of mat on the floor that's a warm colour like that sort of warmy colour in there, because I do feel that overall there's a bit of a sense that it's a little bit too cold. Like I want that elegance and crispness and gorgeousness of that deep blue and that vase and that teapot and her like her dress or nightie, whatever it is. But there, I feel like I want to balance that out with some warmth. And this one kind of makes me laugh. Oh my goodness. You know, I'm always talking about loosening up. Can you get much tighter than this, really? Hilarious. But anyway, the thing that's bothering me a bit about these is those plates. The blue plates look like worlds. So I don't know whether to play with them a bit and make them into something else, like would they be a cup and saucer and a teapot, or put a border around that to make it more like a bowl. Oh, I suppose I could put a piece of fruit or something, but it sort of doesn't make sense to have another thing holding fruit when there's already that plate there with the fruit. I'll have to just get quiet and tune in and see what do you want, because that's what I'm feeling. It's not, I don't know. I might try just putting a green border around it. Might try it in on my iPad, because you can just go crazy in the iPad and not worry. Okay, so that's the update on this morning, and I really want to fix these up by today. It's crunch time, so yeah, here we go. I'm awake at 3 o'clock in the morning again, and I've got a pack today and going to Brisbane tomorrow. So this is sort of the last day I've got to work on this, because I need to do the photo on the day after I come back is the deadline. So what I'm going to do is let go of these two dark blues, and I'm going to paint them white. I think I'm just going to paint them white for now, and then maybe go back to bed or tidy up a bit or something. And then I'm going to do maybe some blue patterning on these and sort of make them a bit more modern. It's a very interesting, fascinating, beautiful, rich design in there, but it's sort of, the painting has taken on a whole life of its own, and these are like black holes for me. They're not adding to the vibe that I think I've got going on. So I believe I have to let them go. If the sound's poor for this bit, I've just got my phone in front of me and I'm just about to make some changes, and I wanted to document it, share it with you. This has been just annoying me, and so I did a lot of thinking about it while I was away. And so you know why it's annoying me? I feel like it's just too well behaved and just not enough interest in it for me. So I want to dive in, and I cannot stand the this plate. It's got a vibe that doesn't resonate strongly with me, so I feel the need to change it. So maybe I won't talk too much, because it's supposed to be the picture. I was supposed to have sent it to them yesterday, ready for Sydney Art Fair. So that's what it's like now, and I will show you what I do to it. Okay, here I am, and I've sent this photo of this one through for the art fair. So I'm calling that one finished. And then this one here I have been working on today to try and bring it some more life. I'm quite stumped as to what else I can do. I'm going to have to be really careful. What I've wanted to do is bring in more of the crayon mark, because I have that so much in that fruit and this pears. So I've done the crayon using for the toast, and a little bit over the paint of the orange, and just a little bit around this cup and saucer, because they were looking very neat. So I just wanted to mess them up, and I did a little bit on the blue flowers here, those pale blue ones. So I think if I didn't have this deadline of today, I'd probably rework this a few times. I keep wondering, should I change the background color? But because I feel like I'm sort of run out of time now, I might have to just leave this as it is, and just accept that this is another one that's taking me a stepping stone towards where I'm heading. And it's reminding me and showing me how when things are way too tidy, it does really annoy me. So one of the things I've loved most is I repainted that pear plate. I took away the pale green that looked a bit pasty and sappy. I had the pale green and the pale blue on the cushions of the chairs, and I just removed that, took them back to as if they're white wood, which simplified. And so that, I think I'm the most happy with that piece there. The loosest, just gently loose, you know. It's not out of control, but it's got that hand painted feeling of looseness that I love the most. And then these flowers and this colouring, been having a bit of trouble in my mind as to those greens. Are they all looking too similar? Are they a bit too dark? And really coming to the point where now I think I have to let it go, let it be. And if it sells, how wonderful. And if it doesn't, well, it runs the risk of being completely painted over. But for now, I need to just give myself the break. And the intention was that these two would look really good together. And I think I have achieved that. And one of the ways I've done that is to include that blue. Oh, that's another thing I did. I got the blue crayon and I ran the crayon over all of those lines as well to give me more of that crayon loose textury look, because I really love it. So yeah, as I was saying, I've sort of kept a similar palette, although I've brought orange in over here because I felt like it just wanted really to be brought to life. And this one I've left it with that sort of elegant simplicity and quite calm, the palette, very calm. I warmed it up a little bit. Sorry if I'm repeating, I can't remember now what I recorded before I went away. I warmed it up a bit with that matte, which was done using the Neo colours, and I'm really happy with that because I didn't really want to lose completely the blue that was underneath. So it looks like a sort of a loose matte, loose knit, sort of loose weave, and I think I'm okay with that. As it brought a little warmth into the floor area there to sort of go with her hair and a bit of that behind her. So yeah, as a pair, I think I'm really happy with these. And in fact, that's what I've called this one, Juicy Pears. And I've called this one Claire. She feels like a Claire to me. So that is, that's where we are today. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe or share. And if you don't feel like commenting, but you'd like to let me know you did enjoy it, maybe put a blue heart today, if you feel to. It's really encouraging having the comments come in, and I do my best to get to them and reply to them as soon as I can. And so thank you so much for all of you who have been joining me on this journey, this art journey, and I love hearing about yours too. So see you next time. Bye.